What's up, guys, and welcome to another YaBoiWilly YouTube video. Today we are going to be talking about Ashes of Creation and just why I think that they are going to be caring more about PvP than other MMOs before them. First off, of course, don't forget to hit that like and sub down below. Leave a comment as well. It helps with the engagement. I know, but dude, it does support the channel. So thank you guys for being here. Also, I do want to say this video is going to be more off the cuff. It's not going to be like, a script and all this kind of stuff. I'm just going to be riffing and kind of talking about things that I noticed from the last showcase and kind of spitball where my head's at whenever I think about other MMOs and stuff coming before Ashes and why I think Ashes is doing it right. First off, I want to talk about how it is no secret that Intrepid is actually putting a lot of time and energy to try and please the PvP player base in this game, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, it does feel like, let's be honest, like when you look at a RuneScape, you look at a World of Warcraft, it doesn't really feel like they care as much about their PvP player base. Obviously, those have been mainstays in the MMO genre for a while, but it's just really cool to see an MMO early on like Ashes already kind of putting in that work, putting in that effort to try and appease a player base that they know they're gonna have. They're gonna have people wanting to be in these big battles. They're gonna have people wanting to be involved in the PvP in this game. And I think it's really cool that they're already putting the blocks down, the groundwork for the homies. So it was for the PvP squad out here. I just think that's dope. I'm stoked for that. As a big PvP enjoyer, especially in the New World scene, I like that. So obviously this is footage from the War Node showcase that we saw not too long ago, but there was another showcase that just happened recently, and there was a big bombshell, I feel, that of information that I feel like, a lot of people are talking about, but I think as a PvP player, I really enjoyed. I thought it was awesome. Hearing them say it and just hearing the way they talked about it really just made me feel good. It felt like, a voice can be heard. It felt like, we were already getting that love and affection that my parents never gave me. No, okay. But no, seriously, it did feel nice to hear it. So let's go ahead and get into the big thing that I think is going to separate, why I think Intrepid is going to be just the right people for the right job here. So this is relatively early on in the showcase about the server meshing stuff. If you're anything like me, I really didn't know what the heck they were talking about a lot of times. Look, I'm not the smartest guy, okay? I'm unga bunga, what can I say? But I'm not super tech savvy, but there was one thing that stood out to me, and it was this. This is the biggest thing that stood out to me. It was things where it says there's no instancing, laying, or sharding in standard open world gameplay. Supports a large number of players in the same world, must be able to support large-scale open world PvP in any location, and latency must be consistent and low so PvP feels good. First off, already, this is awesome. The fact that we are already seeing them think about PvP, think about this, is cool, right? This is just cool. Either already putting time into thinking about it. And what exactly does this mean? Well, when they're talking about the layering and the sharding, we see games like, let's use World of Warcraft, for example, where if somebody's flagged up for PvP and they're going out to kill people, you could be in a completely different layer. And let's say, oh, this area is getting attacked by the enemy, you couldn't even help them. You wouldn't be able to help them because you could be in a completely different shard or layer. So I think this is cool because Ashes is essentially trying to eliminate that. They're trying to make it feel like, oh, if there's a group of people over here fighting, anybody and everybody on that server can jump on over there and join that battle. And it just creates such a good environment for PvP. It won't feel like you're fighting to try and find enemies. And it's gonna feel also very rewarding because you're gonna know the players on your server that are flagged up and are always going around trying to kill people. I think that's cool. It creates community because you're gonna know the guys who are always PvPing. You're gonna know some of their spots that they like to go to, and it's not going to be negated by always being at a different shard or a different layer. You know what I mean? Like in a game like WoW. And also, even when you think about a game like New World, New World is actually going to have sharding come October. So this is a kind of a standout look from Ashes. And again, this may seem small to some, but it's the world building that I think this really hits on. Not only is it the world building by building up this community that's going to be excited to consistently see these players and people cooking over here, but it's supportive of the PvP community, because it feels like they're already thinking about us. And whenever you think about a game like New World, I love New World, but you could tell from the start, like they wanted to think about PvP players, but they just kind of threw us on the wayside. And at the end of the day, it just felt very much like we're second thought. And I think, you know, you want to treat all communities equally, whether at PvP or PvE. And I just think it's really cool, man. Like, what can I say? I think it's cool that we're already seeing this coming out from Ashes. It's small, but it's something that I look for personally as a PvP enjoyer. And I don't mean to rant and rave out here and like throw WoW under the bus or throw like New World under the bus or anything, but it's just from my years of playing MMOs. Right? I've talked to Vladis recently. I've talked to Burns, the Copium Clinic. I've talked to my boys over there, and we've talked a lot about like New World compared to Ashes, or even WoW and like RuneScape and stuff. And you can see like the PvP player bases in these games are always the last ones that seem to get to have any fun. Bro, I'm going on 3 years of being a PvP player in New World. We've had one OPR map, essentially one battleground map, for 2.5 to 3 years, bro, in wars that have not had a change the whole time. So it's like, whenever I see this stuff coming out from a studio, coming out from developers that seem to actually care about the player base, I'm excited, you know. And now granted, I still am gonna be all in the PvE sauce. You know, I'm gonna be out there in that sauce and that good stuff. But the reality is like the PvP is still something that I wanna enjoy too. And I wanna feel like when I'm enjoying my PvP, the company behind it cares about me enjoying the PvP. So call me crazy, but I think that's what people want. So it gets me excited when I see Intrepid making these moves, and even though again maybe small, but they're moves, and I'm here for it. It's sick. I want to see it, bro. I want to see it. I want to see I just want to see it in action. So in short, I'm excited about it. The fact that they're already thinking about open world PvP like that is very interesting to me. They're already wanting to try to get rid of sharding and stuff because they want it to feel more engaging as a community, as a world experience. Because when you have layering and sharding and stuff, it takes away from PvP, and it's one of the most untalked about things like in MMOs. I've never really heard a lot of companies talking about that. How like sharding and instancing means that open world PvP gets affected heavily from that. So the fact that these guys are already thinking about that is freaking dope. I think that's dope, because it's like, I barely even think about that. That's cool. Like they're addressing issues that like people might not even realize how big, like how small of a step that is, but how big it might be for the actual experience of the gameplay. But at the end of the day, that's just my thoughts on the situation. I plan on making more. I know this might be a bit of a shorter video, more of a ranty video, but it's just something that I really have been wanting to talk about and put out there in the universe. So don't forget, if you liked the video, hit that like, hit that sub, support your boy, man. Aside from that, peace, love, and later.